Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a great and wonderful day. Well, it seems that we have a problem with Oakland. Oakland is in this free state of fall to where, again, I keep on calling a third world state, or at least in this case, it would be a third world city because, California is a third world state. And as we will know, that this is just a collapse of just California policies, Oakland policies mostly for this plat, but it's not doing well. And, it seems like a lot of people are angry that Oakland is not getting rid of crime, not doing its due diligence to remove, the cancers that is plaguing the city. So without further ado, here's the actual clip.
Worried that the city's multi-million-dollar budget shortfall will mean cuts to public safety programs.
$177 million. That's the projected budget deficit. The mayor and the city administrator are working on plans to close that gap. They haven't announced anything yet.
Show us the budget! Show us the budget!
Critics of Mayor Sheng Tao say they worry the deficit will worsen public safety.
We are concerned about Oakland today and Oakland tomorrow.
They're not alone. Some fear the large deficit could result in less police officers in their neighborhood.
The police officers that are usually here at the lake during the busy season are doing overtime. So if they cut that, then there's a good chance we won't have those resources.
Leanne says some of the parking issues have led to confrontations like this. Leanne says many city workers won't come to address these problems without police escort due to safety concerns.
It felt like we are at rock bottom. So if anything that have to do with security is cut, it's going to just get worse.
Baba Afalabi says rampant car break-ins forced him to close his downtown sports bar in March. He says customers stopped coming and he ran out of money.
The young men that go to the church I pastor, he went to the movies last night. Coming out of the movies, he was shot. And just the grace of God, he wasn't killed.
So when he hears about potential cuts to public safety, he worries about how much worse crime could get.
Law and order has to be restored in the city of Oakland. The lawlessness has just gone too far.
According to the Oakland Police Officers Association, there are two scenarios. One would trim the force down to 678 from 712 officers, or all the way down to 628.
I can't see a solution on how we can even effectively handle crimes and respond to calls in our city.
OPOA President Hui Nguyen argues the department has lower staffing levels than it did 25 years ago when there were 50,000 fewer residents.
They asking whether it's difficult for a police officer to work here. It's difficult for citizens to live in the city. And that's the question that we have to ask the citizen. At what point is enough is enough?
Well, he's asking on, exactly what we can do to fix it, what we need, things need to be changed. And I think the one thing you guys could change is obviously you need to vote differently. I mean, we've seen that the Democrats have obviously done their great due diligence of stealing money from you guys. It's been a constant thing. I mean, every time we go and report a Democratic mayor or a Democratic governor, it's like for some reason, there's always money being missing or gone randomly for no explanation. And everybody's asking where it's gone. So again, there's a lot of things we could say on what's going on there in parts of the crime and what have you. And what we have here is now going to a further extent of what's really going on in Oakland and how we can fix the actual problem, because obviously the problem is not being fixed.
With the latest.
So what we would have this here is this. Well, have all the great time in the world with this. We're explaining on what the true case is going on in Oakland.
Live at City Hall with the latest on the budget. Answer?
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. Oakland Mayor Sheng Tao submitted her budget proposal in May. So for the past couple of weeks, City Council has been using that document for any proposed changes. But late yesterday afternoon, the Finance Department submitted their amendments to the document, which now means 3 days before the vote, they have to work off of a new document. And I spoke with Oakland City Council member Carol Fife just before the start of the meeting. She says there is, quote, nothing normal about this budget. She says the Finance Department didn't miss any deadlines. This has just been a long and slow process. But it also means that there may not be enough time for City Council to discuss these changes with the Finance Department. I'm also being told that this new budget includes financial obligations that haven't come due yet, but which have to be included in this new budget. Fife says there are serious concerns that layoffs are coming. Oakland City Council member Janani Ramachandran says this new budget includes $63 million in cuts that will likely impact public safety. She says that may include about 100 police officers having to freeze those positions. It includes 41 police who are civilian staff, so these are not cops on the street. The proposed cuts may also force the city to close about 4 fire stations. Oakland City Council President Nikki Fortunato-Bass says she wants a full audit of Oakland's assets.
And see, this is the problem that we have here, right? The Oakland budget cuts looming. Like, they have 177 something around $1 million of just deficit, right? And I may believe California has a pretty bad deficit in general as well. And when you come down to this, you have to start thinking, who's actually doing this? Who is actually creating this massive deficit that becomes a problem, right? And we look here at the 100 police officers' jobs being frozen. This is going to be a horrible effect on Oakland, because now there's going to be more criminals going out. You're not going to have any type of mass incarceration, any kind of crazy things that you want to do to be able to stomp down the crime, because a lot of these officers are going to be fired or are going to be laid off, and it's going to be pandemonium. It's crazy. 4 fire stations could be shut down, which is a huge problem, because now that you have 4 fire stations being shut down, you can't get to fires quick enough, right? And you can't do this and you're going to have more fires going, burning down things. Like, it's literally becoming a third world city, guys. It's literally that. Third world city. Like, it's completely collapsing before our eyes here. And the only way you're going to be able to fix this is by putting in somebody, obviously firing and removing the people that are already in office, and putting in somebody else that actually seems to be knowing what they're doing here, because whoever is, like, we all know who it is. Like, it's the one lady that is currently, like, the mayor of the city that has been stealing money, which we'll be getting to that, from Oakland itself. So I don't see onto where this is going to be going to be great. It's completely insane on how short of a time Oakland, after the Democratic presidency, and we got all these Democratic people in here, on how quickly it has been collapsing. They are losing so many stores, and now if the 100 police officers, go away, and all that other stuff, more police officers can start leaving, there's going to be more robberies, there's going to be more crime, there's more stores are going to leave or close, and that's it. And then at that point, you just have complete Armageddon. You have nothing. It's a barren wasteland. And that's what we have looking forward to, or Oakland looks forward to, in the future if this keeps on going.
When we get to our budget discussions on Friday, there is a policy directive in my budget amendments so that we can do an inventory of our assets and those needs over the next 10 years.
And at the start of the meeting, City Council voted to continue negotiations on the sale of the Coliseum. But again, Ramachandran says there are real concerns right now that money may not be available for this budget. I'm also being told that Oakland may have to declare a fiscal emergency so they can bypass some statutes that require minimal funding. I'm also being told that if they can't vote by Friday, they can ask for a 5-day extension. So a lot going on between now and Friday's vote.
That's insane, guys. That's insane. So, essentially what is happening here, what I mean by the stadium, when they're looking at the stadium, they're talking about the actual baseball stadium that is present in Oakland, and they're trying to sell that in order to make up the deficit that they've been losing here, right? That's what they're trying to do. And that's insane, guys. What we have here is that since Oakland cannot make enough money or is at a deficit, they're trying to sell the stadium, an entertainment for the people to, enjoy themselves, which means it's also hurting every minor league, baseball league, the higher up of the baseball league and all that stuff. that is all going to go away because now they're selling the baseball field. This is insane. I have actually never seen a city collapse this hard before, outside of, maybe San Francisco, and even still, I don't think that's collapsing nearly as hard as Oakland.
Reporting live, Ansar Hassan, ABC 7 News.
And we'll be watching it all. Thank you, Ansar. Earlier this week, Mayor Shing Tao said she would not let last week's FBI raid at her home distract her from her duties as mayor, including passing the budget, as we just heard from Ansar. With her portion of that budget complete, we found her today at a meeting across the bay in San Francisco. ABC 7 News reporter Tim Johns has more on her appearance there.
Yeah, now it was just last night that Tao said she would work with the city council to make sure that a budget was passed by Sunday's deadline. Tao also doubling down on the fact that the Coliseum would be sold and that money utilized. Amid the ongoing budget crisis in Oakland, Mayor Shing Tao spent Wednesday morning in San Francisco at a meeting of the Metropolitan Transportation Commission. Tao, who serves as a commissioner on the body's board, took time to vote on several measures during the meeting. Following a news conference in which she refused to take any questions on Monday, this is only the second public appearance the mayor has made since an FBI raid on her home last Thursday. On Wednesday, Tao again refused to take any questions from the media. She eventually left the meeting early. But Oakland's ongoing budgetary issues, as well as Tao's legal troubles, were also mentioned during the MTC meeting. One public commenter specifically calling in to blast the mayor.
And that's why I'm calling for the resignation from your committee of Mayor Shing Tao so we can have a good committee. Okay. Thank you very much.
Now, in addition to today's meeting, the Oakland City Council is expected to meet again on Friday to discuss the budget. In San Francisco, Tim Johns, ABC 7 News.
So, essentially, what we have here, guys, is just the mere fact of, the mayor being raided by the FBI because it looks like she's been either embezzling money or stealing money or what have you. And that's part of another reason why the deficit is so high, is because this mayor over here is stealing money from Oakland. It's like, you can't make this shit up, guys. You really just can't make this up. And the only other way you're going to be able to get through this, to get past the Oakland thing, is they're going to have to fire the mayor. They're going to make her get leave. And then they're going to have to honestly say, put in a Republican or something. Because obviously this is not working. It's not going well. And I think it's not looking great for Oakland. The collapse is real. It's really just collapsing. And I think it's going to get worse. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, guys, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. Cause it's algorithmic disease, the social media.